This is Steve. Welcome to You Own the Recipe. Thanks for watching. We're talking about doing some grilled salmon. Okay, this basically goes out to my son-in-law, Lane. Stevie Ann already knows how to figure this out, but this is how you grill salmon. Okay, so I've got a little bit of broccolini over here. I'm just going to hit that with a little bit of olive oil. We're going to grill that as well. It's fantastic. A little bit of lemon and lime over here because what I'm going to do with the salmon today is going to be more on, I say, Tex-Mex type of side. But remember this, salmon is a beautiful fish, okay? Whatever flavors you want to enhance it with, think of the country you're going to. So like there are sometimes I like to go and do something from maybe Italy. Well, guess what? Not a lot of places have salmon in Italy, but I know they use garlic, I know they use olive oil, I know they use rosemary. All right, so that's the season I'm going to put on that. I'm going to go something a little bit more French, maybe a little bit of thyme, a little bit more sage. So keep in mind the direction you're going to go with your food, because with this dish right here is going to go with the pico de gallo we made earlier, the smoked shrimp, and yeah, it's all going to come together. So that's going to be the perfect plate presentation by the time we get all this put together for you, and we're going to walk you through it. Okay, so I've got about a 1 pound piece of fresh salmon here. God love America. All right. If you remember from watching from my earlier videos, I love putting plastic on the plates just because I don't like doing dishes. Okay. So I'm going to take this a little bit skin side down. I'm going to rub it. I got a little bit of olive oil. If you were paying attention on our Facebook page, I talked about the difference of olive oils. There's one that's very robust. There's one that's very smooth. One's made for cooking. One is made for not cooking. Okay, so I'm going to use one that's a little bit smooth because it could take high heat. I'm going to drizzle just a little bit of olive oil on top of that. Okay, nothing crazy. Okay, now I'm doing a Southwest type of a take on my fish tonight. Okay, because I want it to go along with the smoked shrimp. I want it to go along with this unbelievable pico de gallo we're going to pull out here in just a little bit. So a little bit of chili powder. We're just going to kind of not coat it, but just enough to kind of see that it's on there. A little bit of cumin. Comino, depends what part of the world you're from, a little bit of garlic, and that's about it. Okay, a little salt. Why? You gotta have a little kosher salt in your world, a little bit of cracked black. And that's it, guys. I mean, keep it simple, okay? You don't need to get crazy. So what I'm gonna do with this, I'm going to sit for just about 5 minutes, all those flavors kind of getting in the meat a little bit. I'm gonna take you out to a really hot Weber grill. I'm gonna have some oak on that so I get a nice sear on this. I'm gonna teach you how to go through the whole grilling process and making a beautiful presentation. Also, one thing I want you guys to know, okay? Let me get over here. Citrus, all right? Go back, check the video, how to pick out the perfect citrus, all right? Citrus is such a wonderful complement, whether it's chicken, whether it's fish. I'm using the lemon that's going to go on the broccoli. I'm using the lime that's going on the fish. When it's grilled and it gets this wonderful golden color to it, and you squeeze this out of wherever you're putting onto it, completely kicks your dish up to the next level. Okay? How do chefs know all this stuff? I'm telling you. Each one of my videos has a little bit of a trick for you to pay attention to, for you to be able the person that I know you can be. All right? So I'm going to take this. I'm going to go out to the grill and let's get this party started. Okay, so I got my salmon. Beautiful day out here. Tell you what, it is Texas in October. Anyways, so we're going to grill the lemons and the limes off to the side, right on top of that heat, and let them get that nice caramelization on them, and that's going to so release the juices and change the flavor. All right, so I have the salmon here, and what we're going to do with the salmon, get it off the plate, is basically you want to do the flesh side down first and then finish it on the skin side. All right, so we got a really nice oak fire. I'm going to set it just like that. Now, with a rubber grill, don't panic, okay? If these flames start getting up too high, guess what? Put the lid on it. You're good to go. So there's no reason to sit there and go, oh my gosh. One thing I love about these little windows too is I can change this thing in any direction where the wind's blowing, so I'm not in the smoke and still have control of my food. All right, should we be freaking out yet? No. What do we got here? Look at those slices. Almost ready. Almost ready. Pull him over a little bit. Fish. So With grilling the fish on a hot fire, all right, you always put that flesh side down first because you want that hotness to be able to sear the fish and lock everything in, all right? It also makes it much easier to come off the grill. I'm gonna flip it over and we're gonna let it cook on that skin side, but I'm also gonna pull it off to the side so it gets indirectional cooking and allow that flavor of that oak to finish cooking it off. So if you're doing hamburgers, you're doing steaks, I love finishing them off so that way I get a nice sear on both sides. I'll take that ribeye off to the side, I'll throw a little oak on it, and let it kind of continue to cook at a low temp off the grid, or more or less off direction, and it comes out great. All right, so, minute maybe, okay? The grid right here is with it. You don't want to go against it because you're going to tear your fish up. So that's why it's going like this. I'll give this guy just a little bit of a nudge. Flip them over. All right, you can live with that. I'm not going to freak out, but you get the idea of how it's being cooked. On this side here, I'm going to let it go for about 2 minutes. Here, let me give you a quick shot. That's what you're looking for. Right there. This little guy right there. Those are perfect. I'm going to turn them up though, so that way I don't lose any juice out of them. I'm going to let this fish cook like this for about another 2 minutes. I'm going to pull this basically by just spinning the grill off the heat. I'm going to let it finish for probably another 3 more minutes, giving it about a medium flavor. I'm going to bring all this back inside. I'm going to plate this stuff up, okay? The broccolini, I'll tell you what, this is really, really easy. It's a last minute thing. So when I pull this fish off to the side, okay, give it a couple minutes. I'm going to come back over here. I'm going to toss this broccolini on the hot side of the grill. It's just covered with a little bit of olive oil. And I'm going to use this lime or lemon over here to finish this thing off for the final plate presentation. Okay? So, I'm going to let all this stuff cook. We'll be right back. Okay, so we just pulled the salmon off the grill. It sat on there for a little bit longer. Fire wasn't quite as hot as I wanted to. I wanted to make sure that the salmon was at least medium because I like it where it's not dried out and tastes like tuna fish. All right. So the pico de gallo that we made in the earlier video kicked it up just a little bit. So I added a little bit of avocado into this. This is going to complement with the fish so fantastically since it was seasoned with a little bit of comino, the chili powder, garlic, salt, and pepper. Got a little bit of yellow rice. Let me talk about rice a little bit. When people are adding, unless you're cooking with like onions, celery, carrots into the rice, but you want to add color into your rice at the very end, try not to add it in until the very end. So I want, like my red bell pepper that's on the plate, I want that to stay crisp. I want that to be a focal point. I want that to be offsetting of the rice texture. The broccolini, my little lemons, look at those guys. That's all those need. Doesn't need salt, doesn't need pepper. Just that wonderfully cooked texture of that lemon. Now for the fish, my little lime over here, that's gonna be the finishing touch for that smoked shrimp that's going with the plate. And just to give that pico de gallo a little bit extra kick. But you see after grilling something how easy that juice comes out of there. Okay. Hey, I hope you learned something today. Again, I'm Steve. Thank you so much for joining me on my little journey on You and the Recipe. Remember to please check us out on Facebook. We have a completely fun, interactive page. People sharing ideas, people sharing their love of cooking. So, leave you with this. Chew with your mind wide open, play with your food, and love your food. This is Steve from You on the Recipe. I'm out.